We need to stop giving in to mob rule. We need to stop worrying about offending a particularly hard-line element of the Muslim community, put our foot down and say enough is enough. There have been huge protests outside of Cineworld in Bradford, Bolton, Birmingham and Sheffield by some Muslim, mostly from what I can see anyway, men. Why? Because there was a film called The Lady of Heaven that is about the Prophet Muhammad's daughter, apparently. I've not seen it, obviously, but it depicts her and apparently the Prophet Muhammad as well. The film has now been pulled because Cineworld was afraid that these protests were threatening the safety of their staff. Well, why didn't the police get involved then? If this was a far-right mob, then the police would be all over it, wouldn't they? They'd stop it. Look, I'm all for tolerance and inclusivity, but at the end of the day, if you live in a certain country, you should adopt the values of that country, not attempt to force your values onto everyone else, in my opinion. Britain is a very diverse nation, wonderfully so. In fact, multiculturalism, frankly, some people would argue, puts the great into Great Britain, doesn't it? We are a very multicultural country with a large Muslim population. But it is not a Muslim country, and that's simply a straightforward matter of fact. If a cinema chain chooses to show a film that offends the sensitivities of some elements, anyway, of the Muslim community, then as far as I'm concerned, there's a very simple solution for the protesters outside the cinemas. Just don't watch the film. But this is just the latest in a very long line of similar incidents. Take Batley Grammar School, for example. Yet again, a mob conducted pretty threatening protests. Nothing really happened about it, and now a teacher is, as far as I'm aware, essentially in protective custody for the rest of his life. This is not on. It's not OK. We have to grow a pair and put our foot down. We're too soft when it comes to this kind of stuff. People might think, oh, well, it's just a film. Take the easy route and cancel it. It's just one teacher at a school. It doesn't really matter. But where does this end when you really play it out? I actually find it quite offensive that there appears to be a rather large group of people who are more than happy to reap the benefits that this country has to offer, so by our way of life, for example. Talking of benefits, by the way, actually, has anyone asked why this lot protesting outside cinemas aren't actually at work? No? OK, fine. Anyway, people seem more than happy to take advantage of our free education system, our free healthcare system and other general benefits that this country has to offer. But then at the same time, they want to fundamentally impose their values or cultural or religious ideology onto all of us. And I find that more than a bit cheeky. Frankly, I find it flipping rude.